watching the Evercade effect.
Hey everybody, this is Ed from the Evercade Effect, and today I thought it would be a fun topic to talk about, is Evercade the future of retro gaming? And kind of specifically more what I mean by that. Some of you are new to the Evercade ecosystem, some of you have been around for a long time, and some of you are on the fence. So this is the question I thought that I would go ahead and ask today, right? For those of you who aren't familiar with, Evercade, it's a handheld console. It's dedicated to classic video games and even modern indie games. We've got curated game libraries, physical carts, which is important, and nostalgic design, right? Like the carts are designed much like after your classic Game Boy Color carts. So I kind of think of them as shrunken down NES carts. So with all that, is that really enough? Can Evercade truly be the future of retro gaming? Well, we kind of look at the appeal of the system. It's nostalgic, right? I mean, if you just look at this, look at a huge 500 plus library of games, over 50 cartridges. I mean, yeah, I think that really speaks for itself. Plus, the simplicity, right? You have people that just want to pop in a cart, just want to sit back, kind of play it on a real, on a real console, be able to have a real controller, and whatnot, and just chill. Some people just don't want to have to load up a ROM, take the time to do all that stuff. Not that it's too difficult, but we also have these physical, tangible carts, which I just think are freaking great, right? We have Atari that's come back, which I know that one, isn't for everybody. But it's much more though than just retro, right? I mean, these are officially licensed games, accurate emulation, and for the most part, the controls are pretty intuitive. There's a huge, relatively big Evercade, online community and all that. And there's a lot of people like myself that have passion for this product. If you're watching this channel right now, you probably have a lot of passion just for retro gaming in general. And I just think it's freaking amazing that in 2025 we have something like this. So that's why, again, with all these factors that we just take into consideration, the nostalgia, more than just playing retro games, having something physical and tangible, an online community. These are some of the things that you don't get as much if you just, let's say, download some other console and load up ROMs, right? To me, the importance of ownership, it's just neat kind of having all these things behind me back on a shelf. And one thing I think is great too is that Evercade continues to be innovative, right? Even though maybe the Evercade Alpha might not be the product for me, I think it's done great for branching out there. Recently, Blaze put up a new stock of these for U.S. customers to be able to get the special edition with the Sunwall controls and everything, and that sold out pretty quickly, both the Mega Man and the Street Fighter. So I think really here with Evercade, you can there's just something for everybody, right? And you may ask yourself, well, with Switch having collections and Steam having collections, how could this possibly take over? Well, there's also a cheaper point to entry, right? It's $100 pretty much for either the consoles, whether you want the handheld version or you want just the regular console that you plug into your TV. It's kind of nice sometimes, after a long work week, or after a day of work, just being able to come home and just plug in a cart and just not really just have to worry about it. It's the simplicity of it all. It's just pretty neat. Now, all of us do enjoy getting something physical in the mail, or most of us, I should say. It's really neat sometimes knowing you have something there waiting for you. Well, in this day and age of the prices of retro gaming and all that skyrocketing, it's more difficult, to kind of get some of those games, just to go out there and just get some of those to get back some of those memories, but it's gonna cost you. But with Evercade, it's now they got up to what, $25 USD. Yes, they're not going to have your Super Mario Brothers. Yes, they're not going to have your Zeldas and whatnot. But it still does capture that really fun retro gaming experience. And I think we may just get to a point where some people are like, yeah, it would be kind of nice to have a Nintendo and all that, but then I got to go through the trouble of either having a CRT or getting all the hookups and all that. And it's kind of nice having this new system and having this discovery of games and all that. So yeah, again, I kind of go back and propose the question: could Evercade be the future of retro gaming? Could we get to a point where just over time, the last of the consoles are more difficult to get, they're more difficult to maintain, they're more difficult to repair, and people just want something simple. They can just pop in a cart and they can get it, at a reasonable price. Maybe you don't have a Switch. Maybe you don't want to get a Switch. Maybe, you know, maybe you're going to have like the latest like Sony console or Xbox console. At that point, they're not even going to have a media slot anymore. You just kind of want something that's a throwback, something that's simple with the variety. Yes, other companies like Atari, they're doing this physical carts. Mod Retro, Chromatic is doing this physical carts. But let's say you're just wanting a variety of things to play. You want the sense of ownership. You want the physical media. And you really don't care that it's emulation. You just want to have a good time. Could we get to a point, who knows, 5 years, 10 years from now, where like Evercade is just the future of retro gaming? SNK has skyrocketed Evercade to the popularity of where it needs to be. And it just kind of takes over. Who knows? Let me know in the comments below. I thought this would just kind of be a fun video to go ahead and do. It's kind of thinking about like, what if scenario. And if you do happen to stumble upon this in the YouTube verse and you like what you see, I really would appreciate you consider subscribing to this channel. I put out weekly content. I stream a couple times a week and all that. We have a really nice kind of like niche little community here. And if you want something more out of it, you can become a channel member. Matter of fact, I can go ahead and thank those channel members now. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching, and bye-bye.
Thanks, Crashline, Mr. Shua, Mortal Sojourn, Amber Cummings, Joe Whitlash, Dan Nestick.